that'll go to the part where it says cancel, turn off, do all these things.
Oh, believe me, I know.
And I don't know how I get to that point because I didn't do anything, but
Because
it was
artificial intelligence is just taken over. Hey, I think I'll
well,
take this call, but I'll block that one. It's kind of
exactly.
amazing. Kind of
It
amazing.
was when I took Eliza out this morning, it was 26.
Oh yeah. See, okay, so yeah, like you said, and that's cold. It's hard to slice it any other way but cold. But the difference, I think, is in the sunshine. If you're in the sunshine, or if it's windy at all, and so things like that can make a big difference.
They do,
But
yeah.
uh,
They
but yeah, just to step outside, especially stepping outside at night to take him for a little walk, it's like, oh my God. So yeah,
well,
it's wintertime.
and yeah, I now sleep in warm morning clothes, not pajamas, so that when we wake up, I can put on my coat and just walk her right away. Because why change clothes?
Well,
Why not just
I'm
because
with you
I
a
live
thousand
near
percent.
people. Well, you live near a lot of people also.
I live near people, Alice, but we are so familiar, or I feel like we're all so familiar that I feel like this is my college dorm. I just step outside. Hey, how you doing? I don't care
It's
how I look or what I'm wearing, which, I don't know if people then are talking about me, but the way it goes, everybody's just friendly and it's all good.
Well, same here. It's my hang up. It's
Right.
probably what my mother taught me, many years ago. But that's what I love about my neighborhood is I rarely take a walk. Like I've just been 3 blocks and I've already seen two people I know. And it's
Well,
just
see,
nice.
it is, Alice, and that's exactly how I am in this little neighborhood. And the irony of it is, some people I know and others I don't. But everybody, we greet each other with a hi, how you doing, or well, what's your dog's name, or whatever. It's always just a very friendly feeling, and
Yes,
I
and
love it.
I think people that move into these neighborhoods don't move in if they don't want that.
I agree with you.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. No, I fully agree with you.
because our house, the part of my neighborhood I live in, the houses are 7.5 feet apart,
Okay.
which is close. And it's just like you said, it's homey. I never feel alone. You know, Daniel's 20 minutes down the road, which is great. And I just, today at lunch, I said, okay, I just want to tell you all, I can't believe I have friends. I mean, I feel like I've known these women for decades. I've only known them 3 years.
Well,
And,
yeah, I hear you.
it's just so nice. And one of my friends in Spartanburg said, now, Alice, every time I've known somebody that moved away, they never can meet people like their old friends that they've left behind. And I remember thinking, I don't think that's true, but I didn't argue. And I'm just so glad that I landed in a place where I have friends and we do a lot of fun things together.
I do. I do. I hear you. And, I mean, it's so funny to talk to you because whatever I thought we might have in mind to talk about, we just end up talking about something else, but it's always great. But to your point, you get acclimated to where you are. And I felt like, pretty at home, back where we were in South Carolina. But, we moved up here and I swear within, who knows, days, but certainly within months, we started connecting, and next thing you know, I feel like I've been here all my life, and I've had
I
friends
know.
here that are stronger friendships than literally, the last 30 years, really, except for you and Dave. So it's been wonderful, and part of it is, and maybe this is to your point a little bit, part of it is because we're kind of all from out of town. So
Yes.
you kind of find that you have that in common. Like, oh, okay, you're from Connecticut, or you're from New York City, or New York area, New Jersey. So here we are, and it's just really been great.
And
And
most of us are retired.
and then we're retired, and so the rank and file of your employment and what your position is, where you work, and that kind of thing, literally kind of has no meaning anymore, except for maybe memories. But you're not. I don't know. You're just not under the gun in any way. I've been friends with people. For example, if I can think of it, I became friends with a guy who was a colonel in the Air Force, I believe. We started riding bikes together, and we're having a great time getting to know each other, whatever. We're riding the bike, and I was like, how did me, a guy who barely missed the draft, end up being good friends with a guy who was a colonel in the Air Force?
I know.
So it's been pretty amazing. Well, let me just ask you flat out, how was your Thanksgiving? What stands out for you?
Oh, it was wonderful. We Monday, Peter's older son Jordan and his wife Claudia flew in, and we went that night to the Raleigh Ironworks district for dinner, which I'd never heard of, this new district. And we went to an Italian restaurant. Well, I looked at the menu at home before we went, and I thought, I've got to look up all these words. I don't know what these dishes are because they're so unique.
I hear
It
you.
was not traditional Italian. The food was wonderful. Jordan and Claudia are adorable. They live in Brooklyn, and they both work in the advertising fields. One works for a French company and one for a Japanese company, and they work from home.
Wow.
They're just so
It's a different
easy. They're
world.
fun. They're just great. And then Tuesday we went out for lunch in Durham to a place that Jordan wanted to go that had, Peter, I'm so not sure of all the ethnic flavor, but they had all sorts of cuisines like Mexican, Colombian, Asian, just all these. And it was delicious also, but it was so different, which is so much fun.
Yeah.
And then, I don't remember us doing, we didn't go to a movie or anything. We just hung out and visited, but they're just real easy to be with. And then Wednesday, I went grocery shopping. No, I did grocery shopping Monday for Thanksgiving. Wednesday, I started cooking, and I realized I had not cooked a turkey dinner with Dave for like 10 years, something, I don't know, at least 9. And I thought, well, this is going to be interesting. I've never made just a turkey breast. And he went nuts over your sweet potato casserole. And he had an interesting, I kept saying, now, Peter, try it. What do you think it needs, etc. He said, put in a little maple syrup. And that was unusual.
I had maple syrup sitting in the refrigerator from Linda, and I almost did that. I guess it was just kind of an oversight. But because I kind of.
It was good.
Well, good. You mean you actually tried to follow it a little bit? That's amazing.
Oh, I did all your ingredients.
You're amazing.
The only thing that was, the thing that made me not dread making it was the fact that I could bake the potatoes. That is so much simpler than cutting up the hard sweet potatoes.
Well, Alice, I just, that just makes me feel great because, just the thought that it was useful in some way. And, when I was making it, and I made, 16 potatoes or something. I made a lot. And I ate a lot of them. But I guess part of the experience was, I think that they burned a little bit because of the high temperature of 450. But anyway, bottom line was it all worked out well. In other words, they shrunk, so I had to cut off more than I would have if I boiled them. But
So it's
I
a
think,
good thing you made more.
yeah, I think the flavor of the baked, plus the fact that the skins, which I peeled the skins and I ate skins. I ate everything, and I looked up. I asked Alexa what the nutritional value was of of the sweet potato skins, and it's just packed with nutrients and all that kind of good stuff. So I ate, for a couple days on that before going over there for Thanksgiving, and then that was my contribution, and people liked it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, it was so delicious. So then Thanksgiving Day, we just kept making the food, and then we had our dinner Thanksgiving night. It was just the two of us and the two dogs, and it was very relaxing, and it was kind of nice because we'd been with Jordan and Claudia for 2 days and 2 nights.
Okay. All right.
So it was kind of nice and then they left to go to Peter's ex-wife's for Thanksgiving. And Peter, this is so interesting. Although I'll say it another time, probably. I'll say it another time since we're recording it. But so
I understand that, Allison. You're certainly okay to do that. I have the same thoughts about that kind of thing, and certain things we want to whatever tell it to the world, and other things we don't. So
yeah,
I respect that.
I'll tell you that part later. But the other funny part was, if I told you about, Peter loves sports, and so what he does is he has. If I told you this, tell me. He has IU clothes for Indiana. He has Syracuse clothes for Syracuse. And then all the teams, he likes the Mets and the Jets and all that. And so I actually brought my one University of South Carolina, rah-rah top.
Sure. Yeah.
And I brought my Carolina Panthers hat from the Super Bowl 9 years ago or something. And it makes it so much more fun. And he decorates for the teams because he thinks it's good luck. He has all these superstitions, and
funny.
He's so funny. And so we watched football all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And then he started feeling bad on Saturday. And then on Sunday, he didn't feel any better. So when I left Monday morning, he texted me and said, I've got COVID.
Oh, wow. Oh,
and
geez.
So
wow.
He thinks he got it from Jordan, but Jordan's never taken the test. So I took the test, and I don't have it. I didn't get it.
Good for you.
So that's good. But his only symptoms were runny nose, not terrible, sore throat that's now gone, and tired.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, he wasn't really sick.
Right.
But so I came home Monday morning, and I've been pulling out all the Christmas decorations and doing all that. It's been a lot of fun. And Eliza, we need to go home. Let's go get a treat. Do you want to go get treat? She says, no, I want to go on a mile walk.
Oh, my God.
She didn't poop, and I wanted her to poop before we went home. But I'll take her out again later.
Zeke is curled up on my lap.
Everything just was nice, and I was so touched by your what you wrote to your grandsons, Peter, and that whole birthday celebration.
Well, thank you.
It's it's just what we've been talking about so much because you are, come on, Liza, you are experiencing life in a different way now. It's bound to change, but it gets richer with who you are.
That's a great way to look at it, Allison. Well, let me give you a 30-second wrap up on mine, and
well, now I want to have longer than that.
Well, we'll just see how it goes. But you know, the beauty of this whole thing, in many ways, is being able to communicate with you and share with you before, during, and after, because it kind of helps. I don't know how to say, just reinforce the whole experience. You know, in other words, it just doesn't wisp away and it's gone. And so that's great. So I love this. But, you know, this was my first Thanksgiving alone, or not with Tess, and it was my first Thanksgiving going to Charlotte and having to decide, am I going to stay with the family or am I going to stay, as we always did, in the hotel? And that was a big debate for me, because the hotel was something we were used to. You know, we had a nice room and, you know, it was dog friendly and all that stuff. But then between talking to you and other people in my life, they were saying, no, you should stay with your daughter. You should stay with your family. And so I asked them, and I don't want to impose on anybody. Don't do it to be nice to me. I just want to know what you really want. So I asked them a couple of times, and they kept saying, Daddy, we want you to be here. We want you to be here. So I said, okay. I took that big step, and I canceled my hotel room. That was a big deal. And then now I'm floating out the river with no paddle. You know what I'm saying? I got no safety net. So I'm committed. But, you know, Alice, I got up early in the morning, probably didn't sleep a wink. I packed up all my food that I've been making for the last 3 or 4 days. I got everything together, got it in the car, drove out there to Charlotte, got there probably before lunch, you know, got there, 11 o'clock or so. And then I'm there, and I watched them going through their activities, getting ready to, host the Thanksgiving dinner. And it was just great. It was, I don't know how to say, different than showing up from the hotel and having one foot in the hotel and one foot there. And, I was just really invested in being with them. Alice, as Sam put it, I've got my own little suite. I had a bedroom with my own bathroom. I brought my stuff up there, and I'm unpacking, and little Nolan is up there with me, and he's asking me questions about stuff as I'm unpacking. And he said, oh, what is this? Is this your cane? I said, yeah, it's my cane. It helps me, stay a little bit better when I walk. He was interested in that, And then I had these shoulder speakers that I'm wearing right now on the phone. He was interested in that. How does that work? And I was showing him that. I mean, these are little things, Alice, but they're meaningful things, And, it's just part of just being part of the family instead of a visitor. So we had the most fantastic dinner that Sam cooks this beautiful turkey. And then, we had all the side dishes and everything, and we're all, we'll never do this again. This is too much. But we didn't really even do that. Alice, it was just like, it was everybody just enjoying each other. And, without like the polarization that we're aware of, without sticking your pole up in the air to say, oh, I disagree with this, or I don't like that. There was none of that. Just let everybody be who they are. And I really, really enjoyed it. I felt comfortable. We took the boys out shopping the next day, and we went to this card shop, baseball card, football card, sports cards. Boy, their faces lit up. They were so excited. They were choosing this and looking for that and shopping for this. And I said, well, hey, that's something I should get Nolan for his birthday. So I did that then there on the spot. And I said to Nolan, okay, I'll get this for your birthday, okay? And he, yeah, great. So I swear to God, we got home. An hour later, he said, oh, can I open my birthday present now? Alice, I said, no. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I went off on a blue streak. But I said, no, And then of course I'm second guessing myself. But he had his friends there, and I said, no, tomorrow's your birthday, and I'm glad I held firm because, he got over it. They went on with what they're doing, whatever. And then the next day for his birthday, instead of showing up for the hotel, there I was. So that little 5-minute clip that you saw, and I appreciate you taking time to watch it, but those are 5 minutes out of 12 years, Alice. We have never been to his birthday in the 12 years. I think the
Oh, you
first.
haven't?
No, not really. No, not on his birthday day, because it was so close to Thanksgiving that it would be, oh, well, we don't need to be, we'll give him his, card today and we'll go home. And so this was the first time, and that's why I'm saying being single, Alice, it has its drawbacks, but I feel like I can be myself and I can connect with the family the way I connect, the way we connect. It's not perfect, but I'm not negotiating all the time with, God bless her, but I just don't have to worry about, is she okay with this or okay with that or not okay. So it was a liberating feeling. And so it was bittersweet because, like you see the pictures I put together to that song. I mean, I cried like a baby, but I'm telling you, Alice, they were also kind of happy tears. It's nostalgia. It's like, what a beautiful life we had. But I'm not sitting here in misery, like, oh my God, no, I'm all alone. It's not like that. It's a good feeling that we had everything we had, and that there's not collateral damage, collateral benefits, that I still have my
Yes.
daughter and my grandkids and my son-in-law, all of whom I love a great deal. So that was my 30-second wrap-up.
Well, it sounds like it couldn't have been better. And again, what dawned on me during this whole Thanksgiving weekend was the role model we're giving my sons and your daughter on how we pick up the pieces and move on and enjoy our lives. Like my dad he lived 10 years after my mother died.
He was what?
He lived 10 years after
Oh,
my
10
mother
years.
died.
Yeah.
And he was 97 when he died.
Wow. See, then there's no.
So, I just am proud of the fact, and I've never wanted to think, I just had never thought about it this way. But from talking to you, I thought, wow, Nolan, my grandsons, your grandsons, we're showing them a very healthy way of living.
Well, and I hear you, and I feel good about what you're saying. And I can say that it's not really intentional. There's maybe a little awareness of it, but I'm not sitting there saying, well, now be a good role model.
But me either.
No,
Peter.
It's kind of just what's coming naturally. And I think that's the beauty of it, Alice. Like I said, putting that video together was very cathartic. And then when I sent it to the family, they came back. Oh my God, that was beautiful. When I went there for Thanksgiving, the first, oh, that was such a beautiful thing and a beautiful story or a beautiful song, or beautiful pictures. So they were very complimentary, and it felt very genuine. And then when I read my little excerpt that you read that you liked, I read that. I asked permission to do it, and they were like, oh yeah, sure. So I read that, and little history of Thanksgiving or whatever. And then bottom line was, Sam said, when there's something missing here. The way he put it was just very nice, very, very, very nice and very cool. There's somebody missing here who we all know and love. And in that second, I cried a little. Those emotions.
And that's healthy.
Well, it is, Alice. That's the thing. Those emotions are there. I'm not suppressing them, but I'm not consumed by them. I'm allowing things to go the way they go. And as my point to you is to say, yes, this is what a family does. And the fact that I was with them instead of keeping my distance, instead of keeping my privacy or whatever, no, be myself with them and let them see me for who I am and let them be themselves too. It was just beautiful.
I know, Peter. It couldn't, from what I could, all the things that you sent me, all I could think of was
overwhelming.
No, it wasn't overwhelming. It just gave me a good feeling about the whole visit.
Yeah. And I know you go through this. That's why we're talking, Alice, because you're, negotiating these changes in your life too, with your two grown-up boys and, your new Peter and, like you just, in the things we're talking about. He has his sons and their wives and their extended families. It gets complicated in many ways. I think it's a beautiful scene as you speak it to see the two of you. I can just imagine a candle in between you for your own little Thanksgiving dinner. I think it's wonderful.
Oh, I'll send you a photo. He actually, he did send it to me. He sent me a photo. He was raving about the food, and I really didn't know what was going to happen because Dave and I always did it together, and I was looking up stuff online. But let me see. Okay. You know what? I probably texted it to me from his phone. Let me look.
I do that kind of stuff all the time.
But Peter,
it's a great little device.
It's been 9 years since Dave died, which I can't even believe. Here it is. Yeah, it was still in the text. It's been 9 years. And, it never occurred to me, well, I want to be sure and show Asher and Daniel that I'm strong and I can be happy and I can move on and I still love their dad and and that. Never occurred to me.
No, right.
And like I said, okay, I'm going to send you a photo of our time. I meant to do that and forgot. And so it was, once I realized that, it had never occurred to me, but it occurred to me because of your situation. And I thought, it is important because some families, and I feel so sad for them, they have very dysfunctional things going on and people don't get along and they don't speak and they don't this and that. And how wonderful that we're able.
Oh, that's beautiful, Alice. I'm looking at your photo.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Now, the mashed potatoes are right between the candles.
I see that.
And the gravy's in that little cup. We didn't have a gravy bowl.
That's cool.
But it was very sweet. And so I'm just happy that I was saying today at lunch to one of my friends, one from New Jersey, I said, some people just have a hard time. And she's the second person who said this to me this week. She said, that's because maybe they don't want it or they want to feel that way. Now, I don't know that that's true. I think some people have mental problems and just can't move on, right?
Well, I think that everybody is who they are in the given situation they're in. And I think that, I'm saying this in the most open-minded way I can say. We're all struggling with our own issues. And like you said, there are some people that just have a boatload of issues to deal with, some of which they contribute to and some they're just victims of. But I think that, I'm trying to learn, like you're just saying about positive role models, learn from my own parents, learn from you, and kind of, think it through a little bit. Who do I want to be for myself and for my own daughter? This whole thing of going home for the holidays, which now home is my daughter's home.
Uh-huh.
I'm so damn lucky, Alice. And this day I had no plans whatsoever except to call you at 3 o'clock. This whole day filled in with different things, different people. This friend of mine asked me to join him for coffee, and then I met another neighbor talking to him about his family, Thanksgiving and his sons and so forth. And now I'm talking to you. And, I'm like, what can I say? The scarediness I have about life, the worried about the future or worried about my, how I'm going to make it or whatever, or being lonely or whatever, these things, they're real and they're there and they poke their little heads up here and there, but then really literally overshadowed by how many wonderful things are around me and
I
people.
know.
And people just like you, Alice, just getting that little text or whatever, it can make a world of difference. So what I'm really trying to do is be that person for other people. And I know it sounds incredibly corny, but, just say thank you. Or like when I go to Ingles on the holiday, I say, well, thanks for being here. They're standing there behind the register. And with family members, like I said, let them believe what they want. Let them say what they want. I don't have to agree or disagree. Just hear them out. Just listen. They had a very positive spin on the future. And Alice, I thought to myself, why not? Why not? Have a positive spin on it. Look forward to it. What will be, will be. But, don't worry about it. Don't make your life miserable because of what could happen. Just enjoy what is happening. And, your Daniel and Asher, they seem like they've just, blossomed, as the years go by. They're finding themselves. They're creating this life for themselves. And now, like you said, you've got a new man in your life, but you're not erasing the past. It's not replacing Dave. And that's why I love you and love talking to you, because you found that way to do both, And
that's my goal.
Yeah, if I ever meet somebody who walks into that role in my life, then maybe that will be. But I'm so happy right now just to have the friends and family that I do. It's just been a real blessing.
I know, and that's how I feel. And like I said, moving here, it could have blown up in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank goodness it didn't.
Right. You had the courage to do it. Alice, I keep talking too much, but that's what I'm telling you that's so interesting to discover about yourself, that what you might fear doing, and I try to evaluate when I'm looking at a situation, is it fear that's preventing me from doing it? Is that what is stopping me? And then I try to take a harder look at that. But, you moved, God knows I don't know how many 100 miles away it is, but a whole different lifestyle, a whole different city, all by yourself. Amazing.
I felt 10 years younger. I really did feel 10 years younger.
Yeah.
I got here and I thought, wow, I feel like I'm 60. I don't feel 70. Of course, now I'm 74, but I lucked out. The realtor that had helped me in the Asheville area recommended somebody here who was wonderful. And then Daniel helped me get a rental. And then I just landed in the right space. But this isn't what I was setting out to do. I wanted to live on the water. And that would have been not a huge mistake for me if I moved into an area that had a lot of developments that you weren't isolated. But as much as I love academia and learning and, those kind of things, this is perfect for me. And I'm just so grateful. And the other night, Peter, this sounds funny, but I added up all the little different groups of people I have here, and I thought, oh my gosh, and my two cousins that live here, we become closer, because we go out every month or two for lunch. And my childhood friend lives here, and that's fun. And then my friend that I met in the play, and got to know, our little group goes, I have all these little groups. And I thought, this is more than I had going on in Spartanburg.
See.
Part of it is because, well, I don't know why. You know what? I was going to say because I was retired and they weren't, but that's not true. It doesn't even matter. I'm just so fulfilled, like you were saying.
Well, yeah, I'll throw a snowball out there because, I don't really know either, but you've always been an outgoing person, and when you were married and focused on your family, that was your focus. You still had a lot of friends. I mean, to me, you were still queen of the prom. But the difference now is you then now had to carve out a whole new identity, so to speak, which you've done. And I think that's what we're talking about, is that instead of carving out an identity that also includes your significant other, as much as you love them and want to do it, now you're kind of free to, join this little tea party or that little tea party or this group or that group, or like you're doing the acting and this different stuff. So in effect, it's worked as a motivator for you, and so it's kind of blended your natural inclinations with, you're not going to sit home and do nothing. So here you are, blossoming and taking time to talk to me, which I appreciate.
Well, and ditto for you. Yeah, because Peter, even though you're going through it 9 years later, we're still on that same journey. And today at lunch, I was just getting sillier and sillier because it's we call ourselves. No, they started the club before I got in it. It's called the Drinking Lunch Club. Now, one of our friends doesn't drink, alcohol. And today I decided not to have a drink. And then my friend next to me ordered champagne. They didn't have wine. And I thought, oh my gosh, champagne. That sounds wonderful.
Sounds good.
Well, it wasn't champagne, Peter. It was, I'll tell you what it was. It was
Prosecco?
I don't even think it was Cava. Segura by Vela. Cava. It was Brut. I asked the woman, and I meant it sincerely. I said, whatever that brand of Prosecco or champagne we had, I would really like to know because it was delicious. And so she took my phone back and took a photo. Oh, and that reminds me, Peter, when I was with Claudia and Jordan, I was telling them my new thing about calling the manager after I have someone nice help me, and telling, giving the manager a report on how wonderful the person who waited on me was. And Claudia said, well, do you ever do Google reviews? And hadn't you told me about those? I think you did.
Oh, yeah, that's my job.
Well, she told me, excuse me, I said, well, where do you do it? How do you do it? So she
I think we got cut off.
And I was trying to do it after she left, and I thought, why can't I find the review word under the scrolling under? And then I realized every time I'd done it, I had Googled directions to a restaurant or something. So yesterday I did it twice. There was the cutest little girl in Home Goods that helped me, and she was young and just so sweet and very, just,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
hear
know,
you.
it's like people are taking happy pills
Right,
lately.
right.
So I go immediately, I told the manager, and then I went immediately out to the car and wrote her a Google review. And then did one for the one, I asked somebody in Food Lion where the AA batteries were. And he said, I'm so sorry I'm in my pajamas, but it's my day off. And I thought, well, he needs a positive review too, because it was his day off and he's still helping me. So that has
Man, oh
been really
man.
fun. And so now I think I have 21 points or something. I'm not doing it for any reason other than to help out these, like you said, these people that are working hard.
Alice, it's fun. It makes you feel good. It's
It
fun.
does.
And it makes you feel good. And it gives you, for me, when I say you, I mean me, it gives me a sense of purpose. I'm not just sitting here with my elbows on the table eating. I'm going to pay them a compliment.
Exactly.
And that compliment, and then you'll find this with Google, they reinforce that so much. Oh, you got 21 points. Oh, 15,000 people read your review. Oh, they're going to make you feel good about it. And then if you say something nice about a manager or a place, whatever, you will sometimes often get feedback from the owner or manager saying, thank you for your positive review. We really enjoyed having you, or whatever the case may be. Alice, I find it to be a great recreational outlet.
I think so too. Now, my friend Mary today she said, now I hope you do it if things aren't great.
Oh, Alice.
And I said, well,
Alice.
that hasn't happened to me yet. I said, if I have a negative experience, I will call and ask for the owner and just say, if this were my business, I would want to know, blah, blah, blah. But the funny part about this is the person who said that to me is a Trumper. And
Alice.
I found that so weird.
Alice, gosh almighty, I'm starting it's just amazing, because that was my first knee-jerk reaction. Why? Why does a person feel the need to, well, I hope you said, if you have a problem, I hope you report that. I don't feel the need to do that at all. Not at all. Now, if it's a big company, if I'm not even going to bother spending time on it. If I go to a restaurant and those people have made my dinner and served my dinner, and I had a good dinner and it was an enjoyable time, I'm gonna sing the praises. Now, if they had a rough night and maybe the waiter was a little slow or behind or whatever, like you said, I've had very few experiences like that, but that's my business. I don't need to throw toilet paper at his business. That's ridiculous.
The only reason I would say something is if someone did something outrageous.
Exactly. And yes, and we know what that means. And yes, if they were rude or, whatever, and
exactly,
then you might say so and so seemed to have a bad night. Even that, I would probably follow the protocol that you're talking about. Call them up and saying, Mary Ann was kind of mean to me tonight. I just wanted you to be aware of it. Don't want to hurt her. Don't want to, jeopardize her job. Oh gosh, Seinfeld had a great one about that. Oh my God, Seinfeld covered everything. But anyway, we need to go. But thank God we're not paying for long distance calls. it's always so great to talk to you, Alice, and it's just so great to stumble on these things because
I know.
we have no itinerary, no outline. People listening to, yeah, 2 stars, no itinerary. That's your problem. That's your business. I've decided as I talk to you, Alice, if no more than just, a recording of our memories and our conversations, that is everything it needs to be. But I just love hearing these things because it's, like I said, spread a little happiness, spread a little joy, spread a little motivation, make somebody feel good about what they're doing. Why not? And so that's so great to share that thought. And so anyway, I'm going over to John's house for dinner tonight, and I feel lucky about that. We haven't, we'll catch up about our Thanksgivings, and I will talk to you soon, and we'll talk about more fascinating things. And
I
keep
know, that'll
practicing.
be great.
Yeah, I'll keep practicing and learning how to create these podcasts and publish them. And I don't even want to go there because it's a whole nother can of worms discussion. So how about we say goodbye for now, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Peter. Have
Thank you
fun
so
at
much.
John's.
Thanks, Alice. Okay, see you soon.
Okay. Bye, sweetie.